Hey everybody, welcome in. Good to see everyone today. We usually have like a little welcome screen that plays with like a little tune. Couldn't figure out how to get that button to work today, so we are coming right in. I see a handful of people are already here with us watching. Good to see everybody. Happy March. I'll continue stalling for just a minute while more people file in. We are live on LinkedIn. We are live on YouTube and live on promevo.com. Wherever you're at, good to see you. Thanks for joining. On all of those, you should see a little sidebar on the side of your screen. That is for comments, that's for questions, for however you want to interact with us. We'd love to hear from you. This is not necessarily meant to be a full on lecture. If you have a question, then come with it. If we can answer it there at that moment, we will. Otherwise, we'll take a few minutes at the end to go through it, to go through your questions. Uh, just as a reminder, today is gPanel Basics. We do these every month, and the point is to just kind of get you familiar with the most basic, most important critical functions of gPanel. This isn't a deep dive. We'll talk about those here in just a second. This is just like, hey, I'm a new user, or I've been using this for a while and I'm not sure I'm getting the most out of like the primary functions. We're going to do all of that for you. We're going to walk you through that. Your primary presenter today is Shelby Gaines from our support team. Good morning, Shelby.
Hey, Brandon. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. I should say good morning or maybe good afternoon,
Oh, yeah.
depending on where you
Depending on
are.
where you are.
I'm still morning. You're in the afternoon.
Right.
Shelby is going to walk you through all the things you need to know. And of course, this will be recorded. Anyone that's registered will get a link to it. If you just stumbled upon this and you didn't register, let me know. Reach out to us at promevo.com. Or you can also go to gpanel.io. It's a website that we're going to be setting up. We'll talk more about that next month. But yeah, reach out to us. I'm happy to get you a recording. You can sign up for as many of these as you want. But one thing that's worth pointing out is we do these every month, and then every once in a while we try to do a deep dive. So last month we did one on email management. Shelby went through all the different things that gPanel enables you to do with your Gmail environment. Things like deleting phishing emails, getting reports on behavior, delegation, things like that. So that's available on demand for free. Go to promevo.com and promevo.com/webinars and look that up. You can also go to our YouTube channel. It's posted there. We're doing another one of those here in 2 weeks from today. This time we are going to be diving into Google Drive. So I'm going to drop the link into the comments. So Google Drive, big, important, huge topic. Probably the biggest source of like security risks, of like private and like personal data. You don't know like sometimes where things are being shared drives can get out of control. Employees might be sharing stuff with like their personal Gmail or something. It's the jungle out there. It's Mad Max. So gPanel has a ton of functions that help you sort of tame that environment, help you identify things like when an employee is deleting files or when an employee is maybe sharing files out with like outside of the company. Maybe like certain people outside the company have access to shared drives. You can see all of that. You can manage all of that with gPanel. Shelby and her team are going to like totally do a full demo on that on March 25th. I drop the link over on the sidebar. Sign up for it. Come prepared with all your questions. We'd love to talk about it with you. So that being said, that's enough of me. I am now going to turn it over to Shelby, and she is going to walk you through everything that you need to know about gPanel Basics. One more reminder, drop your questions in. If we can address them in real time, like if she's still talking about that topic, we'll jump in. Otherwise, we'll wait until the end. Go ahead and take it away, Shelby.
All right. Sounds good. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Like Brandon said, I am Shelby Gaines. I am one of the system support engineers here at Promevo. I probably have interacted with a few of you guys on a ticket or a video call, but it is great to be here today. And as Brandon said, I will be leading this month's gPanel webinar focusing on the gPanel basics. This webinar is designed for new gPanel administrators. We'll explore some of the platform's most valuable features, aiming to equip you with the knowledge and skills for effective gPanel management. The topics today will be user management, calendar resources, drive functionality, and the reporting tool. Some key takeaways that I hope that you guys can walk away with today are going to be understanding some of the core functions of gPanel, gaining confidence in navigating the gPanel interface, and learning how to leverage gPanel's features to streamline some of your administrative tasks. gPanel is a tool that duplicates a lot of the functionality in the admin console. It also provides additional features that aren't found within the Google Admin Console. Simply put, gPanel is a tool to manage users and adjust their permissions. So let's get started. gPanel's user management page serves as the default landing page for all admins, providing a comprehensive user directory that mirrors the Google Admin Console, eliminating the need for user imports. New users can be added here directly within gPanel. It's a straightforward process, but notably, we want to take a look at some of the permissions that you find within the user management section. All of the tools are going to be categorized by service. Some of the tools that I like to highlight are going to be calendars and Drive, but the one we'll be taking a look today are going to be some of those Gmail settings. The first setting is going to be account delegation. Account delegation is a feature that allows an admin to grant specific privileges to other users' inboxes. Within Gmail, end users are able to delegate their own accounts, but in situations where you need individuals to act on behalf of each other, or maybe a compliance situation, admin are able to delegate users in gPanel. A new feature to the account delegation is the expiration date feature, and I like this tool a lot. This allows admin to delegate accounts and set expiration dates, eliminating the need for manual account updates. The next tool that I want to highlight is going to be our vacation responder and forwarding. This is also going to be unique to gPanel. While these functions are available to the end user in Gmail, there is not a way for administrators to access these permissions within the admin console. In gPanel, administrators have the ability to manage these settings. A vacation responder, also known as an automatic reply or out of office message, is a useful tool to inform senders that you are unavailable, and it provides information about when you will be back. This can help manage expectations and prevent urgent matters from falling through the cracks. For businesses who have clients that anticipate ongoing communication, this gPanel feature might be a valuable tool for your business. The same can be said about forwarding. Enabling email forwarding from an admin perspective ensures productivity and creates a backup of important emails by forwarding them to another address or maybe another group if you need. Signature templates are another tool that I always like to highlight. This is another unique feature within gPanel. Signature templates can streamline your workflow and enhance your professional images. Signature templates can help with branding and help to maintain a consistent look and feel for your emails with a standardized signature block. Signature templates offer quick access to contact information like name, title, company, phone number, email addresses, and websites. Adding information to your signature template profiles also can help to expand your online presence. I also like to point out within the signature template that you can also change the different templates. So there may be different situations where you need to, if you're sending out an email to maybe a different company, you need different information posted. All of the templates that you create will be found under your template options, and you can change those and you will see that reflected here in the signature template. Signature templates, there is a lot that we could go into. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on that today, but of course, if you have any questions and would like to see some of this offline, we could always set up a call to do that. Our next topic is going to be calendar resources. gPanel offers comprehensive calendar management capabilities exceeding the limitations of the Google Admin Console. One key feature is the ability to transfer calendars without user deactivation. This is particularly beneficial during employee offboarding, ensuring that future events are not missed. For example, if an employee leaves on Friday, but their calendar is booked for the entire next month, a full calendar transfer can be done to perform continuity. When accessing a user's profile in gPanel, all associated calendars, including secondary ones, will be visible to the admin. Admins will be able to edit calendars, share, and manage user access with roles that mirror those in the native calendar app. Calendar events are also visible and manageable within gPanel. So, like I said, admin can come in and find either a specific calendar or a user, and they will see all of the associated calendars. Admin will be able to come in and edit calendars, maybe if you needed to change the name, the time zone, the location. Admin are going to be able to share out the calendars. Maybe you need to change the visibility from domain level to everyone on the internet can have access to this calendar, or maybe just a few people with the link, with your link can have access to that calendar. This is where you would come in and adjust those roles. Admin are also going to be able to share out the calendars with users or groups. I think of this in a situation when you're onboarding a new employee, and HR has to set up meetings, especially with remote work. HR has to set up all these meetings to kind of help with that onboarding process. HR can come in, or the manager can come in, add HR to the calendar, and give them the necessary roles and permissions, and kind of help that onboarding process a little bit easier. Admin are also going to be able to come in, not only create events, but manage existing events and edit those. So, for instance, if you needed to change a weight training from today to tomorrow and you needed to add maybe a user or a group, you can come in and do that. You can set reoccurring events. Again, this is something that you aren't able to do within the Google Admin Console. So, really cool stuff. Resource calendars and templates, although not covered in detail here, but you basically manage those the same way as your calendar section. For organizations that have high compliance requirements, gPanel's calendar transfer logs provide a valuable audit trail documenting all calendar transfer activities. gPanel empowers administrators with enhanced control over users' calendars, streamlining processes like employee offboarding, ensuring continuity of events, and maintaining compliance through detailed audits. gPanel offers a comprehensive solution for managing calendars within your organization. The next section we're going to look at is going to be drive management. gPanel's drive management offers a more user-friendly experience than Google's, especially when it comes to transferring drives between users. If you're familiar with this, you know that this action can be irreversible in the Google Admin Console. But gPanel has a tool, it's called our Drive Sweep tool, which can restore edit access to the original owner. So what it would basically give all of that previous owner, if they would have edit rights. But again, it's better than not having anything. Again, this is something that you cannot find within the Admin Console. Unlike the limited My Drive management in the Google Admin Console, gPanel provides comprehensive access to all users' folders and files. Administrators will have the ability to create folders. Let's go ahead and pull up a user. Administrators will have the ability to create folders, view documents, adjust sharing permissions, control document visibility, and also set expiration dates for access. Helpful if you only need users to have access to certain documents or folders for a set period of time. So let's go ahead and take a look. It's like I said, admin will be able to come into that user if they needed to create several new folders. Again, very helpful in onboarding situations. Admin can come and do that. If admin need to come and make sure, perhaps verify a document about one of their users are viewing, they also have the ability to do that. And unlike what you can do within the admin in the Google Admin Console, this is actually going to pull up the document. So you'll actually be able to see the document. And if you needed to share it out or download it, you can also do that from gPanel. Admin are going to be able to rename documents, as well as make a copy, excuse me, And my favorite part is the sharing aspect. Again, if you needed to share the document or folder, if you needed to restrict it to only certain users can have access, maybe anyone with the link, maybe anyone in your domain, you'll be able to come in and change that visibility here. Admin are also going to be able to add other users in groups. Not only will you be able to add the user in group, you will be able to adjust their role. These roles are going to be the same roles that you find within the Google Drive, so you don't have to worry about mismatching the permissions. And as I stated earlier, you'll be able to set an expiration date. I think this is a really helpful tool that I can think of in situations. Perhaps maybe you have to share out a contract and you only need a certain user or group to have access to it for a month. You don't want them to be able to edit anything, but they just need to be able to view the document. Administrators would be able to come in here, add that certain group or user, and add that and be able to adjust their roles as they see. So again, this is really useful, something that you cannot do within the Google Admin Console. The next tool is going to be our Drive Search tool. Now, there is a Drive Search tool that is available within the native Drive. However, that is only exclusive to the user's Drive, meaning you can only find documents within your own Drive. So if you needed to find a document that your user maybe created from maybe 2 months ago or a few years ago, you wouldn't have the ability to do that. With Drive Search, this is going to allow administrators to locate any document within the domain using various search parameters. And once found, manage those documents similar to My Drive. So for instance, you would just need to be able to pick a source. Your source could either be a user group, it could be an OU or a domain. And you can choose any one of these parameters. For this one, I'm just going to pick a document title. And I'm just going to add actor. If I needed to add the exact title name, I could do that. But for this case, I'm just going to go pick actor. Let's see what we find. And what it will do is going to pull up all folders and files associated. Once you have access to these, you can manage them the same. So for instance, if I needed to come in, if I needed to view this document to make sure this was the correct resume, I could do that. I can download this as well. If I needed to rename this, I could maybe update it from 2024 to 2025. If I needed to make a copy, my sharing permissions are going to be the same that you found in My Drive. I'll be able to add users, I can change their roles, and I can add expiration dates. And also, if you were looking to maybe clean up a little bit, you can also trash the document. For those companies that rely a lot on compliance, the ownership transfer logs provide a report of all the drives that have been transferred. The drive sweep tool is that tool that I mentioned again that you would use in those situations where a user's drive has accidentally been transferred to another user. Again, the tool will go through and it will basically restore the previous owner with edit access rights. So they'll be able to see those folders and files that they had once had access to. As an administrator overseeing shared drives within your domain, you also will possess extensive control. This includes the ability to not only share drives, but you can manage members and adjust their roles, which mirror those found in the native Drive app. If you encounter a drive where you lack access, for instance, this drive, you will be provided with a convenient access request pop-up, and you will just need to grant yourself the necessary permissions. When viewing folders within the platform, a shortcut is automatically created. Let's take a look at that. And this places you directly into that shared drive. This allows for immediate access to the desired folder or document, streamlining your workflow. It's crucial to remember that the permissions hierarchy within the platform functions identically to those in Google Drive, meaning the permissions are inherited. Therefore, I always like to say exercise caution when granting permissions to yourself and others, as changes can have cascading effects. So let's take a quick look. As I mentioned prior, you will have admin will have access to all of the shared drives. In a situation where they don't have access or the correct permission, admin will be able to come in and grant themselves that. So in this case, I'm going to give myself manager because that is going to be the highest role. Once I come in, I will be able to see all documents in folders. And again, I will be able to have the same options that I had in my drive. So if I needed to come in and view a document, I could. If I needed to download it or maybe share it out from here, perhaps print it, I could do that. I can rename it, and I can also share it out. Again, with the same options, if I needed to add a group, if I needed to add an expiration date, perhaps I needed to change the visibility, admin are going to be able to have the ability to do that all within shared drives. Again, something that you cannot do within the Google Admin Console. The next tool we'll look at is going to be our Report Center. gPanel's reporting tool is a powerful feature that provides administrators with a comprehensive and granular view of their organization's Google Workspace environment. While the Google Admin Console offers basic reporting capabilities, gPanel goes far beyond offering over 77 customizable reports that deliver specific details about users, groups, OUs, and domains. I would also like to point out the cPanel logs. The cPanel logs diligently track and record all admin activity that take place within the Google Admin Console. This comprehensive logs can prove to be an invaluable resource when trying to troubleshoot and resolve issues that may arise due to changes made within the Google Admin Console. By examining the cPanel logs, administrators can trace the sequence of the actions, identify any type of configuration modifications, and pinpoint potential errors that could be contributing to the error at hand. And these are the cPanel logs. Some key advantages about using our reporting tool are going to be granular insights. You'll be able to gain deeper insights into a user's activity, data usage, security, and compliance. You'll also be able to customize your reports, meaning that you can tailor these reports to your specific needs and preferences. You'll be able to schedule reports for recurring tasks and automate report delivery. And you'll be able to share reports with specific users and teams. So let's take a look at some of the reports. All of our reports are going to be categorized by service. Like I said, there's over 77 reports, so there are a lot of reports, and each report will have a different set of data depending on which report you choose. So for instance, documents created report is going to have different columns available than maybe an unmodified documents or a shared drives report. Keep in mind that depending on your tier of gPanel will affect the reports you have access to. For instance, if you're on gPanel Starter, you will only have 12 reports versus Enterprise and Standard, which have access to all of the reports. So let's take a look at one of the reports. One of the most popular reports I think that we have is probably our user profile report. As I mentioned, you would have the ability to schedule these reports. And what's cool is because if you're familiar with setting up a schedule within the admin console, a report within the admin console, you'll know that once you set a schedule and it runs, you have to go back in and reset that whole scheduling, like reset the whole scheduling up again, which can be kind of frustrating because once you set something, you just want to be able to forget about it. With gPanel, you'll be able to come in and schedule that report. And this is what the schedule template looks like. As I stated, different columns, different sets of data for different reports, but you don't have to choose all of these columns. So for instance, if you only needed to know maybe perhaps the aliases that users have, you can just select that. You'll have the choice to run your reports, whether against users, groups, OUs, and domains. And you'll be able to share, let me pick a source. You'll be able to share out this document. If you need to email it to maybe a certain group, maybe compliance needs to have these metrics every week, you can automatically search for the users there. Maybe if you needed to share out the report with maybe a director, you can also do that here. I also like to point out that our reports are generated in real time, so you'll also always be provided with the most up-to-date data and information. I would like to highlight really quickly our administration tools. These are going to be valuable for new gPanel administrators. The first tool I'd like to highlight is going to be indexing. Any changes in the admin console automatically sync with gPanel when users log in. If you need to update changes sooner, using the index tool does that. It will update both gPanel and Google consoles and can be done by users, groups, calendars, or OUs. gPanel Labs is basically a testing environment for new features that are currently under development, such as our bidirectional context sync. None of these experimental features, I do like to note that some of these experimental features, they may be modified, removed, or experience directions at any point, but I do like to highlight those. Role Manager is another useful tool that I like to point out to administrators. This is going to allow admin to create new roles with specific permissions, which is particularly useful for granting managers authority solely over their teams. This is a huge, there's so many permissions in here. We could spend hours and hours and times on this, but if you have any questions again about Role Manager or permissions, always feel free to reach out. The Google API status toolbar is probably one of, uh, which is found in settings, excuse me, probably one of my favorite settings, because this is going to allow you to do, this is going to be found here, is this is going to allow you to check the operational status of different Google APIs. You'll be able to see all of your admin APIs at the top, and if you needed to run a check against certain users, you can always come in and check those. Again, this is really good for troubleshooting. I do want to highlight the gPanel API. That allows our enterprise clients to integrate with different softwares like Workday, Okta, and HubSpot to automate processes like onboarding users, decommissioning users, and even creating standard policies. Going back into the settings, a few other settings I also like to highlight is going to be your gPanel admin. This is going to be the primary admin that you want to set your gPanel account to. Note that if this user, for instance, loses Google admin, super admin permissions within the Google admin console, or they are suspended or deleted, then the entire domain loses access to gPanel. So I always like to highlight where users can come in and update that gPanel to. We're going to finish up here just because I know that we have about 3 minutes left and I want to get some time for any questions that we have. So Brandon, I will shoot this back over to you.
Thank you, Shelby. That was awesome. And I know we only have a couple of minutes every week, or every time we do this. Shelby wants to cram in a little bit more. There's just so much, and we try to be super efficient with these, and show you the most important things. But as you can see, it's a big, powerful platform. A ton to go through, and that's why, just as a reminder, we do deep dives. So we call them office hours. The next one is March 25th. We did have a couple of questions that came in, but really, I tried to address a couple of them in the comments. But the last one that we just got is, I think, important to point out, because some people, they've been with gPanel for a little bit, but they're noticing, Shelby, that your screen looks a little bit different from theirs. So how does someone opt into the new, what we're calling V2 user interface of gPanel?
Okay, so I'm imagining this is the screen that people are probably referring to. This is V1. We are basically, like you said, updating everything to version 2. But where you will be able to find that is going to be right here in the settings. Oh, excuse me, this little settings. And you should see a V1 and V2, and you can slide that over, and then you should be able to see your new V2 platform. And if that is not working, please let us know, because that should be working.
That's right. So yeah, just up in the top right corner, V1 to V2, we are, and they're about to roll out, I guess what we're going to call, maybe this is spoiler alert, but we're rolling out like V2.5. So there'll be more improvements to that coming soon. I'll kind of delay for a minute. Anyone else's questions? I just saw another one. There we go. Thank you. Okay, Shelby, this is a good one for you. gPanel API, is that available for everybody?
Only for our enterprise clients. So if you are on enterprise, you can set up that API with your other softwares. But if you're on standard or starter, you won't have that access. But if that is something that you're looking for, always reach out. We can take care of that for you.
100%. A couple other functions too, like the rules engine is on our enterprise tier, which I always think of that as like, if this, then that. If someone goes into your Google Drive and starts wrecking stuff, you can get a notification in chat or email, things like that. So again, another powerful tool that is in the enterprise tier. With that, we have reached our time, and it is the half hour. Everyone, we'll be doing this again next month. You can come to as many as you like. If you have specific things that you want to talk about, or you want to reach out to Shelby and her team directly, You can see it on her screen down in that lower right-hand corner is the little chat window that will, help you open a ticket. Or if our, support team is available, you can chat directly with them in there. Outside of their working hours, or if they're all busy, go ahead and keep talking with it. It'll open a ticket, and you'll hear from them eventually, sooner rather than later.
Within an
But
hour. Within an hour. We try to be within an hour. Yeah.
Yes, within an hour. So with that, thank you, Shelby. Much appreciated. Love that you do these for us. Super helpful to the community. Thanks to everyone out there on LinkedIn, on promevo.com, on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon. Have a good day.